Hey guys, welcome back. I've got another video for you today. I just finished up this lathe knife in my last video and it works really well. The length is great. I have good control over it. So my next order of business is going to be extending some of these other chisels that I really like and want to keep using, but right now they're too short for my lathe. So I'll end up cutting these off and welding on a new rod to extend it, as well as turning a new handle to attach to that. So stick around and I'll show you how I do that. Alright, so I have today is a wooden handle right here that I've turned previously a piece of copper pipe that I've cut to fit on the end of this handle. I have this scrap metal rod that I will be using to extend my chisel, and then right here I have the chisel that I made, and this is out of a square metal file. I use the grinder to shape this, and then my tabletop belt sander to sharpen it as well. Here's the handle I made, and I really like this chisel. I like the handle, so I'm not gonna destroy this handle. I'm gonna try to reuse it if I can on another tool that I make, so I'll be saving that. First thing I need to do is cut off the end of this chisel so I can weld it onto the rod. Alright, now I'll weld these two pieces together. One trick I like to do is turn on this really bright light that helps me be able to see through the welding mask just faintly the outline of the metal I'm welding, and helps me more effectively weld these two pieces together. Now that I've ground off the excess metal, I'm going to go back again and put another layer of weld over top of this to make it a little bit stronger. Now I'll go back the second time and clean up this metal, but this time I'm going to leave behind a little bit more metal to strengthen the rod and hold the two pieces together. Alright, I have the chisel all welded together and cleaned up, but I'm noticing that it is a little bent towards the tip, so I'm going to heat up the steel to soften it and then bend it back straight with a hammer. But you want to make sure that you don't heat up the tip of the chisel, because you don't want to soften that cutting edge, or else it won't be able to hold a sharp edge for very long. So I'm just going to carefully heat up the middle of the rod so I can bend it back straight. Next, I will be attaching the handle to the chisel. Now I'm noticing that the chisel needs to be sharpened a little bit, so I'm going to take it over to the sander and show you how I sharpen this. Now this chisel is super easy to sharpen. Because I used the edge of the sander to cut the curve on this chisel, I can easily bring it back and just slightly press on that curve again and clean up the cutting edge on this chisel. Now I'm going to use this cardboard tube, wrap it in some really fine sandpaper, and use that to sharpen the chisel the rest of the way. I have it pretty sharp, so now all I need to do is test it out and see how it works. So I'm going to test it out first with some white oak that has been dried for a really long time. So if it cuts through this, it'll cut through just about anything that I carve. And I really enjoy using this chisel. It's easy to use, really easy to make as well. And I'm glad I extended it because now I have even more control and I feel more comfortable using it on my new lathe. So I have here the two chisels I just made, the one in the previous video, lathe knife, and this chisel from this video. So I'm gonna add a layer of boiled linseed oil on this, and I really like using this oil instead of a finish on my tools. When I'm using them a lot, I don't want a finish that will chip and dent. This just blends in with the wear and tear, and if it ever wears off, I can just add another layer of oil to protect it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Also, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I've been lately getting a lot more interaction from you guys, and I really enjoy that. So keep it up, and I will see you guys in the next one.